And good morning and welcome to Touch Base Daily. My name is Ron Foster and I'm here to touch base with you as I do every day, every weekday, I should say, these days. And man, it's been great. Well, before I start off, it's Chris.
Hey, good morning.
It was supposed to flow,
It's all
but
right.
I got three things in my head at the same time. So today is Focus Friday. And for those that are new, have never been here with us on our Focus Friday, it is all about focusing on accounts that inspire, bless, and encourage. So those
Yes.
IG accounts, Instagrams, and those are also YouTube accounts. We haven't ventured into TikTok yet, but maybe at some point we will. But right now it's just Instagram
But
and
look, TikTok might not be around for too much longer because Congress,
Instagram and
both
YouTube.
branches passed that new law that they have less than
A
1 year
year.
to divest.
Yes. So, folks, if your business model includes TikTok, you might want to rethink it. You might want to rethink your business model because, yeah, it may not be around. So, who's in the building today? Lisa is in the building. She said, "Hey guys,"
What's up, Lisa?
and Omar says, "Good morning, brothers." And who else? Hey, Adrian's in the building. He's awoke. He's awake. He's risen. I'll tell you more about that later. And who else is in the building? Hey, Bryson's in the building. Bryson, you still have to get back to us about on our Focus Friday. We want to give you 10 minutes or a couple of some minutes here to share about entertainment. So we want to have a spot for you if you want to come on. If you have, and if you don't, let us know also. You're like, no, Ron, I'm not into that. I just want to do it from the sidelines. But yes, so speaking of entertainment, yesterday I did go out with Adrian and our wonderful
Okay.
Nancy, and we went to it was family day out last night, and we went to see Civil War
Oh,
and and they were laughing at me. Well, Adrian was laughing at me because both Nancy and Adrian they were like looking at me like he is so in his element. And this film, even though it's called Civil War, it I mean it's based and framed around America. If it have it, America in the future. Well, really, it's really not really the future. It's like present Civil War, but it really focuses on the lives of these photographers and correspondents. And so you really see this amazing dynamics between the older photographer and the younger photographer. Now I won't go into it deeper than that, but it shows you them embedded in the Civil War that's happening in America in the war zone, and so many things happen along the way. But it was for those of us I should say not enjoy, that may be another word, for those that follow and support war photographers, this is a film that you will want to see because it gives you an insight into what war photographers. So I've been told, and so I've been when I've gone to workshops or photography festivals, and some of them have spoken. I wonder how much they use or talk to other wartime photographers in the field to create the moments in this film. And so it really does make you think about America, but it really is about the intricate lives of these individuals. So if you haven't seen Civil War, check it out. I thought it was going to be more propaganda. It was not. It had nothing. It was just in the environment of the Civil War. Would you agree, Adrian? Adrian's in the building. Adrian says, here we go. And I'm going to pop this up.
yep.
Adrian says, every photographer should go see this flick. It really does I mean, you're just looking at the way they're holding the camera, the way they're moving, the way they're interacting, the expressions, the characters are so really cool. And as the characters are being played out on the film, I began to think of some of my favorite wartime, which I'm going to share today in Focus Friday. So I'm going to be sharing, since this movie impacted me yesterday, some of the wartime photographers that are out in the field every day in Ukraine, in Haiti. I mean, I'll call that a war. That's not a war zone, but unrest.
I mean, it looks
uh,
like it.
Sudan. Some of these photographers are embedded in Israel, and like on the Gaza Strip. I think it's recorded that 300 photographers have died in Gaza. So it's wartime photography, or photographers that photograph conflict. They do that
Special
so we
breed.
can see what's going on,
Yeah.
and they are a breed. They are a, I would use the word breed, but they are a batch of photographers to their own right. There's
Yeah.
none of us
I
can
mean,
ever say that we could even identify with what they do.
they allow us to see what war really looks like. You know, it's one thing to be sitting back here and listening to news reports that, oh, you know, we're at war, this and that, but to be embedded in that and to be actually capturing it so that the world can actually see it, it's that I don't. They are definitely a different breed of people. You have the courage and the dedication you have to do something like that. It's, I don't know. I don't have the words for that.
It is breathtaking. It is well, I'm gonna, like I said, we're gonna dive into several of my favorite um conflict photographers that travel around the world and photograph. Just a couple of them, and obviously we have our others that we're going to share. So if you guys have a photographer that you want to focus on today, that blesses, encourages, and inspires, I may have to add something even to that little list of, or they in they impact the world. How
Well,
about that?
before we go into that,
Oh
I
yeah,
just want to I
go
shared
buddy.
one in our private chat. This is Saber Johnson. I had her on the show on Wednesday on Take Two. I really just want to highlight her because I felt that she was very inspirational. She's a very inspirational person. I've gotten to know her a little bit, and you know, I've gotten to know a lot of her backstory. But you know, it's fashion, it's light, but I hope that people can find inspiration in her and what she's done. So just, you know, I just want to highlight her a little bit today.
Okay, I see already Jamel Shabazz already put his in there. Tyler Hicks. So I'm setting it up, and hopefully I can see it. Hopefully he has an Instagram that we can look at. Yeah. So also just on a, oh, look, Jamel's got some. He's throwing some out there. I love it, Jamel. Send them all. Send them in. Send them in. And but if you guys have anyone that you want to share, please put them in there. And as you guys are putting them in real quick, I'm going to just kind of
Remember to add the
plug them
FF
in.
at the beginning so that we can suss them out.
Yes, because that way we can know exactly what their feed is in the Instagram or YouTube. But I am going to most likely be using YouTube for most of these. Looks like Philip Jones doesn't have a Instagram that we can grab. Oh, hold on a second. Maybe I just spelled it wrong. Okay, hold on a second. Let me get this
One
real quick.
L.
Yeah, here we go. And I see here Philip Griffith Jones. Let's see if that's, yeah, someone else. Okay, maybe someone else here. Okay, so if you guys give me the @ of their Instagram, that will help me to follow them. I see Derek has already put his in. Oh no, he's saying hello to Aya. Hey Aya, what's going on? Good morning. Good morning, Rashawn. Rashawn is in the building.
Hey,
And
Rashawn.
who else is here? Kimmy Kim is in the building. And so yes. So can there is one political thing that I need to talk about. I have to talk about it because yesterday, yeah, I'm not sure if any of you heard the SCOTUS arguments in Supreme Court.
Ridiculous.
Um, you, this is I mentioned to Adrian last night, and it was so funny when I hung out with him yesterday, and I came home this morning, and I turned on YouTube and to my Joy Reid. Shout out to my Joy Reid. I love my Joy Reid, and Joy Reid what was the discussion? The same discussion I was getting ready to talk about. And if you haven't followed Joy Reid, this is the topic. It was the Supreme Court needs to be reformed and expanded. The Supreme Court needs to be reformed and expanded. And what's going on in the Supreme Court right now is nothing less than party
Politics.
politics.
Yeah, they're political.
They're political. It has nothing to do with the Constitution. And if you
And it's
heard the arguments yesterday, your mind would have probably said, "This cannot even be America."
there was nothing about facts that was on, and we had to say on the conservative side, because you
Yes,
had those that were nominated on by Democrats that were looking at this strictly from law, but the conservatives, they were just like, these are all these hypotheticals. I'm like, this has nothing to do with the case. Let's
yeah,
stick with the facts.
and they only in the case that is why this was brought before the Supreme Court was because of Trump, and they
Yeah.
only mentioned him twice. Only mentioned him twice in 3 hours of debating should a president have absolute immunity.
I had a question. Like, why is it that they questioned Trump's lawyer only for an hour, but yet and still they questioned the government's lawyers for over 2 hours?
Yeah. But anytime you have someone says that the president can kill his opponents, and they're like, that should have been a outright, this is crazy, this should not be accepted. But no, they were like pondering and saying, well,
Yes.
maybe how far would this be, or how should this be, how would you connect with that? I mean, how would that sit with the presidency? I mean, it was
Like,
shameful.
it was shameful. It was extremely shameful. And I mean, I listened to, I was listening this morning to the podcast. Rachel Maddow had MSNBC had a special recapping yesterday's events, and you should have just heard these broadcasters and these people sitting on the panel, like, are totally flabbergasted as what went on. They cannot believe that these Supreme Court justices sat there and had these conversations. They're like, what is going on? We are living in a crazy world, crazy upside down world.
It is upside down. And again, this is why I believe, and I'm like I said, you've heard me say this several times. I believe this is a Ron belief, but it's not just shit myself. I Joy Reid, they had some folks up there yesterday, and it is a consensus that's out there. The Supreme Court, we need in this election to be talking about, yes, women's health care. That's definitely a number one. Yes, the economy, but one of the things that needs to be on the ballot is expand and reform the Supreme Court. And that can only be done if people vote Democrats across the board on all levels in the Senate to get a overwhelming Senate majority, an overwhelming Congress. Congress. I say Congress, I mean Senate and the House,
Yeah.
the House of Representatives. We need and it needs to be so overwhelming that the Senate is 2/3 Democrat and the House of Representatives is 2/3, because you cannot bring change on legislation until you can get that 2/3, and when it comes to the Supreme Court. So we definitely need to be that should be on the campaign trail. They should be talking about it. The Biden administration needs to be talking about it. The advocates for the Biden administration should be talking about it. But this definitely, we need to restructure the Supreme Court. It is no longer a bipartisan court for equality and justice based on the Constitution. Anyway, that was my soapbox moment. I believe if they are listening, because sometimes they listen to we small folks in the world, you know. And like when we were talking about, thanks to our Elise here, we start talking about Project 2025. And then next thing you know, the following weekend, we see it on the news. MSNBC picked it up. So someone was listening. If everyone starts sharing it on their platforms, reform and expand the Supreme Court. If everyone puts that on their platforms, put it in the mainstream of social media, because they do watch and they are listening, this may be something we can do as a country. Democracy is on the line.
Yes, it is.
You cannot be on the sidelines. Cannot be on the sidelines. You can't say I'm going to just fall asleep. Anyway, okay, I see some folks in here. Trish says, good morning, political warriors. Yes, indeed. Elise says, yes, right. They need a super majority, not just a majority, a super majority. Elise also says, people need to wake up. Need to wake up.
You see that last comment?
I'm totally in agreement. What was the last comment?
Look at it.
Good morning, Shirley. Some folks are several French fries. For those that missed us yesterday.
Yeah. Ron had a whole thing about this.
I had a meltdown on the French fries. It was so good to hear that. I mean, Adrian said yesterday, you never heard that before? I said, no, I never heard that before. I've heard of one egg roll short of a poo-poo platter. I've heard of one leg short of a stool. I've heard of other stuff, but I had never heard one French fry short of a happy meal. I loved it. I mean, that was priceless. That tickled him. Tears. I could not stop laughing. It was. I had to say, Chris, take it away. I couldn't focus. Shirley says, hilarious. Trish says, rise up. Yes, folks, we gotta rise up. We are a country. Every person is important. Every one of us. I see here, Kimmy Kim says, and this is because the Republican Congress is not deciding on laws the way they should. Exactly. Compromise has to be in play. And who else? Who's saying? Who else is speaking? Okay, I think we're all caught up. So are we ready to dive into some Focus Friday?
Let's do it.
We're going to dive into it early because y'all last week came up with some good stuff and then we ran out of time. So we're going to go just dive into Focus Friday and share some of them. So I'm going to share my first one and then we'll just go from there. How about that? I'm going to set my screen up. I already have it. And this is because this was also inspired because of the movie last night on Civil War. And to all of the photographers out there that serve in conflict. This is one of my favorites. And I follow her work. And this is Lindsay Adario. And let's see if I can get this. Can I get this bigger on the screen? I think I can. Yes, good. Pretty good there. And let's look at some of her work. She's known for her work at the New York Times, especially for a lot of her Ukraine work. But she is one of the New York Times photographers. Let me just go back to this. And oops, sorry. And it was also beautiful about today's world is how many women are serving in this capacity. There are a lot of women wartime photographers out there. There you go. And she's able to capture the most amazing stories. And not only if you love this page, if you like this page, what's beautiful about her photography when she's posting, she really dives into the story. Yeah, so she's sharing all these headlines. So it's so cool to see that she's got this right here in the first one that you show. But let me dive into more of her work. She's just incredible. That's her right there. And it's because of her that makes people like me, and I always like to call myself a global citizen. I am an American, but I am a global citizen. I see myself as a global citizen because of people like this, because they bring our awareness on the topics that matter. I mean, she gets all in. And her stories are brilliant. So this is one of my favorites. It is one of my all-time favorites. She had a show here in New York last year at the New School, and it was packed every day. Her work is incredible. I think National Geographic has the leaders. I think New York Times needs to have a story about their leaders. Jamel says James Notch. Yes, his documentary war photography is profound. So I'm going to put that on the list. Thank you, Jamal. But again, follow if you want to have insight in what's going on around the globe. These are the people you follow. Okay, next one. I see there was. Let me just. I could live here all day, so I'm going to move on out of respect for all of us. Literally, I could hang out with Lindsay's page. Who else there is? I see. Can we do James? Yes, James. This is from Jamel. And another amazing photographer is probably on I should be following him. Oh, 1 second. Did I spell it right? N-A-C-H. There we go. I keep putting that T there. Okay. C-H-T-W-E-Y. There we go. Yes, I am following. I remember I started following him years ago. And again, see, that's why movies are so important, because movies can inspire us to research people and to dive into a subject even deeper than what we see on the screen.
So very true.
I mean, look at these. Look at these photos. Most of his page is black and white. you know, and it makes you think about how human beings can be so cruel to one another. I know some of these photos are quite vivid, but that's what's necessary to tell the story. I
You
think
have to see the inhumanity to
you
really
have to
understand
see it.
what war is.
Yes, you have, because there's a bunch of folks in the world. I mean, this is some of his um
9/11.
9/11 footage. Yeah. When you think about these young, inexperienced fools, yes, I went there, that are walking around saying, "We want civil war in America. We want civil war." They have no idea what war is and what war causes, what devastation war is. And I mean, we do have some military folks like Jamel's served, and there's a bunch of other people that have served in the military. Most of our war veterans, they can't even talk about what they've seen. And you got these fools acting, they had never served a day in the military, never served a day to help anyone. And they're
Trump.
talking about, we want to go to war for Trump. We want civil war. Blows my mind.
They don't understand. Like, I think the other thing too, a lot of people are so desensitized to what's going on in the world. Like they see these things now, and it's just like it's okay. I mean, I've done worse in video games, and I think that's really what it boils down to. Like
Yeah.
video games and things that we do in society have desensitized us to everything else around us.
Mm, look at that. So, guys, James Notchwa, not, I think I said Notchway or Notchwa. Great. This is a great page to go through. And again, just like Lindsay, he also breaks it down. He tells the stories behind every photo. For most of his posts, you have a full story. Okay. Jamel has one more. So we're gonna do one more from of this subject, and then we're gonna also. But guys, if you have, remember, put your FFs and then put your at whatever Instagram or YouTube channel that inspires, encourages, or changes the world. Okay, here we go. Let me look at Michael. Oh, I keep forgetting little letters here. What is going on? You know, my glasses have to keep when you're wearing bifocals. Yeah, everything changes every time you move from screen to screen. Oh gosh, the
It's
beauty.
Friday.
It's Friday, but it's our relaxed time. We just chilling out here, and but I hope this is going to help some folks today in getting some perspective. Okay, am I get that right? Did I get it right? Maybe it's a wrong spelling somewhere. I see everything is right. So Jamel is not coming up, I don't think. Yeah. So we
Let me see.
gotta,
Let me try.
yeah, let me know. Chris, you do your handiwork over there and do your research there for us. Jamel also says, let me just get that there. Jamel says, check out the film Salvador with James Woods. It's about photographers covering the war in El Salvador in the 1980s. See, look at this community. This community has so much knowledge. Check that out.
Yeah, I think that might be a wrong spelling somewhere.
He may
Jamel.
not have his war photos on his page. Okay, so he said Michael may not have his page photos
Oh, okay.
online. But do Google him. Okay, so we can do that as well. And let's see here. Did we get everybody? We got Lindsay in there. We got Jamel's in there. Okay, anyone have any special? Oh, Chris put someone in here. Chris has someone. Hold on, put this in here. Let me
He's not a wartime
evaluate.
photographer, it's just a fashionista.
Okay, we got it. We got it going on. But at least I just wanted to make sure that we went straight from the Civil War movie to several of these, which we did, and now we can
It's all about
dive into the rest.
transitions. Good
We're making
transition.
transition now. We're making another
Yeah.
transition. So this is Chris, and I can now, because I can copy and paste from Chris, which makes that easy.
Are you able to copy and paste now?
I can copy and paste from you like private messages. Yeah,
Oh,
but I
okay,
can't copy
okay,
and paste when it's a chat in the
Gotcha.
chat.
In the comments. Okay.
Yeah, in the comment, it won't do it. So
Yeah, there she
here it
goes.
is. Here we go. My style is my brand.
Yeah.
And what we learned, first of all, if you missed on Indie Soup, Chris' show, Chris, how about you talk about it? Because this is your baby.
Yeah. So this was I interviewed Sabre Johnson this past Wednesday on Take Two on the Indie Soup Network. It airs on at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sabre was kind of like me in a way, like how she got started on this fashion journey on Instagram. She was just trying to, during the pandemic, just trying to find a way to cope with the pandemic, and was just basically living in her closet, basically, and just throwing things together and photographing it and recording and just putting it up. And she amassed such an amazing following over the course, and this happened actually really, really fast. As of right now, she actually went up since we since this episode aired. She has 180,000 followers. She gained over 100,000 followers in less than 1 month of starting to just really do her channel. And I think what the draw for people to her was, one, she was very authentic, and then she was doing something that no one wasn't really doing. She literally took you inside her closet, set up her camera, and got dressed every single day. And it wasn't something that was like planned, where she makes this big production of it. She literally puts a camera up, and whatever she pulls out and tries on, and that's what she wears for the day. So everyone can relate to going in the closet, standing there and trying to figure out what to wear. She would just do that, put these looks together, and come up with these amazing outfits. And she's such a breath of fresh air. I believe she had told us she mentioned her age. She's 51, and she's just living her best fashion life right now. And I think what this does, so especially for women of a certain age, it gives them the courage to say that, hey, I can be stylish and I can be fashionable, and I'm going to do whatever I want. I'm going to wear what I want and show up in the world the way that I want to. And that's why I love her so much. And it was such a pleasure talking to her and letting her story be told to the community. Because and the other nice thing I loved about it was she showed up in the group viewing on YouTube and engaged with everyone. And as things came out through the interview, people went and subscribed to her YouTube channel right there on the spot. It was just such a great experience, and I'm so glad that I was able to share her with the community. So yeah,
I loved her. I mean, just her conversation, the interview was beautiful. So check it out on Indie Soup Media. It was so refreshing, and I mean, she does all this herself. I mean, she photographs herself, correct?
Yeah, sometimes she gets her husband to help her with that, but she does video also. And then also now she has a one of those services where you can order clothes, lease them basically, and then return them, or you can actually purchase the stuff. She's partnered with a couple companies, and she's also working on a sock line. So that should be coming out later this year as well. So she's doing a lot of things. I mean, she has a regular job still, but she's doing this. She's also done some design consultation work where she's worked with other women, helping them to style them. So, she's multifaceted, multi-talented, and just beautiful. Like, I love that look. That's such a casual look. The one thing to take away from the conversation from Wednesday was that never give up on something when you're like putting pieces together. people say, "Oh, I don't like this." Just keep layering it until you get to the point where you actually do like it. So yeah, and she's
She does not
eclectic.
play, and she
Like,
just keeps
go back
going.
one, Ron. Go back one. Go back one. That is actually her closet, and those are all her pieces in there. And this is what she does. Like every day, she gets dressed, and she just shares it with you. Her getting dressed, and she has a good time.
She has a good time, and her personality was so beautiful, captivating. She was like, "I'm so nervous," and we were like, "What are you nervous for? This is
Why?
great. This is great stuff." And she was so friendly and so approachable to everyone that was in the comment boxes and chat. So anyway, shout out to her for bringing joy to people and giving people encouragement. She shows them how to also just take budget stuff, thrift stuff, go to the thrifty
Yeah,
store.
she's a heavy
She
thrifter.
covers it all.
Yeah, she's a heavy thrifter.
So get the thrifties out, the thrifties, not the Swifties, the thrifties. Excellent. Thank you so much, Chris. That's one of my favorites too. Oh,
Awesome.
so yeah, thank you. I see Omar has Christopher Morris. Okay, let's see who Christopher Morris is.
It's
Okay.
Christopher_VII.
You know what I'm gonna have you do, Chris, is when you see them,
I'll put it
yes,
in the chat, our
you
private
type
chat.
it and put it in our private chat, and then I can just copy and paste them. So when it
All
happens,
right, give me
so
1
that way,
second.
because your fingers move much faster than mine. Going from screen to screen to screen. So while Chris is doing that,
There you go.
did you guys enjoy that? I mean, that page was, like I said, that's someone you definitely want to follow and connect with. Yeah. So okay, this Chris is so much better. Thank you so much, bro. You are. It's like I feel like the producer.
Teamwork.
Where's my producer?
Teamwork.
Where's my producer?
Teamwork makes the dream work.
It certainly does. I could not do this without you, bro. And so look at that. Look how fast I can move now. Here we go.
I got you moving forward.
You got me moving forward. Thank you, sir. So this is Christopher Lower. What do we call it? Here we go. Let's check it out. From the first Chechen War inside a former Soviet military classroom. Oh, it's another war correspondent. But also doing more creativeness with this stuff, with this photography. Now, my question: the photos from the first Chechen War inside the. Wow, this is real. This is real footage. Wow. Interesting stuff. Wow. So he does fashion as well.
Oh, that's nice.
Let me just go. UNICEF 2018. Wow. There is no glory in this photography, meaning he would say, "Oh, you're a photographer, and it must be the greatest thing in the world." I mean, obviously, there's some gratification, but when you watch these guys and girls, these women and men that do this stuff,
here's the thing: these photographers, they're traumatized to see the death and destruction that they see. Like, go back to that last photo.
they see the worst of humanity.
Well, not even that one. There was one more right there. Like,
Yeah,
how do you
I would be
unsee that?
devastated. I would be
unsee that?
in tears.
It's one thing to see it through a photograph, but to be there, to actually see it, to smell it,
to see it. Yeah.
that is
So
the worst of
intense.
humanity right there.
So for all those folks that are talking about Civil War, they need to really think about. They need
Yeah,
a
you know,
day.
all these people talking about Civil War. Who are the one? Are they actually ever going to be a part of that? Like they talk a good game, but they would never ever be able to stay on the front lines and to actually do that.
Look at this. A calm moment. You know, something as innocent as riding a bike. Yeah. But I look at these photos because again, they keep me in tune to what's going on around the world, and they keep me grounded. You know, photography is not all about all the happy times and all the, I mean, there's a place for everything. But while we have our fashion, while we have all the great stuff that we're doing, we should always have our pulse, our eyes on the pulse, our hearts to the pulse of what's going on in the world. Jamel says, you are constantly haunted by what you see or what you saw. Yeah. Omar says he assisted him. Also, Omar says, I assisted him for Newsweek magazine covering the Mondale Ferrero presidential campaign. Ah, so you know him personally. You know, wow. You know his work. This is in Kuwait, this picture. Wow, Ron, he used to go to, he used to go to Brooklyn Tabernacle, BT? I did not know that.
Look, small world.
Maybe I've met, I might have met Chris. Oh, Eddie Adams. Ooh, let's check out Jamel. Jamel has Eddie Adams, Chris.
Let me look him up.
And let's see here. And then while you're doing that one, I'm going to also in here. I am going to plug myself.
Go right ahead.
For those that, you know, I've had this page for a long time, and I never know exactly what to do with my name page. This says Ron Lewis Foster, and usually I say, oh, it's going to be for my travels, or it's going to be for this, or for my protest, or it's a project I was going to do. And then I said, wait a minute, I got all of these black and white photos for traveling, of nature. And it just happened that I was thinking about nature, obviously, because I was running around the streets with my tulips. And so I said, let me go back to the basics. And so this page has been dedicated to my nature photography in black and white. And so if you want to, click on it and like it and be a part of it, please do. But it's like I said, let me get back to basics and use this page for some of the most amazing things I've had to view in the world when it comes to animals, wildlife, I should say, wildlife, nature, scenery, hikes, times in South Africa, different parts of Africa, Victoria Falls, Namibia, Africa, being in the deserts. This is a dune called Big Daddy, and it is the largest dune in the world. It is almost the height of the Empire State Building. It is also on the oldest desert in the world. So I said, this is a good place to start and share some of these amazing moments I had out in my in the beginning of this journey as a photographer. So anyway, check it out.
All right, so I don't think he has an actual page.
Okay.
But I was able to find he has a workshop. It has 26,700 followers. So I just put it in the chat just so you can click on that.
Okay, I'm gonna click on that.
but there's photos of him on Instagram. People have taken photographs of him in war zones, taking photographs.
Okay, here we go. And this is it, Chris?
I think so. Yeah, I think that's his workshop page.
Okay.
Like people can submit their work to be accepted into his workshop. But other than that, I don't think he has an actual Instagram page. I wasn't able to find it. I did look. I saw a bunch of stuff about him, but no actual personal page with his actual work.
Oh, so these are different folks that have submitted. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. So
Eddie Adams Workshop, Jeffersonville, New York. And this one's being held October 11th to the 14th of this year. There's a deadline for the applications to be in are the 31st of this month. So next week, Wednesday or something like that?
Oh, okay. So all the photographers in the room, this is something you can submit your work to.
Yeah, because even cool. It's call for entries, emerging professionals and military. And they have guidelines for it. So this is definitely him, but he does not have a personal page, it seems.
Gotcha. And it has the other items. Okay, cool. But at least you know it's here. And this is the link. So whenever you can find a link, there you go. That's what you were talking about, Chris. The application.
Because the application stuff is at the very bottom.
Okay.
The guidelines. Yeah, for submission, there it is right there at the bottom.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. I'm looking at time check. Okay.
We're good. We have about 5 minutes. We have to start wrapping up.
Okay, buddy. So do we have any more out there? Any more photographers? And Jamel says, thank you, Chris. There we go. Look at that. See, this is a community working together. Lisa's teasing me. Tiptoes through the tulips. Tiptoes through the tulips. Okay.
We got the singing wrong today.
I'm going to act like a fool. My mother used to look at that guy with the hook, whatever that thing, that little guitar. And we used to laugh. My sister and I used to laugh every time we would see it. Tiptoes to the Tulips. I love that song. Any others out there? If not, I will. Chris, you have another one that you want to share?
No, not right now. But while you're getting ready to pull up your next one, I'm going to do a little plug for later on tonight.
Okay, do that, buddy.
So,
do it.
Tonight at 8 p.m., it's Safe Space, and I've got a very special guest. So, for those that had not seen my post today for the promo or my story, my guest today is going to be the gentleman right above you, Mr. Ron Foster. So you think you know Ron, but you don't. Join us tonight as we sit down and just talk. And I think that this is going to be such an enlightening conversation. I will say this conversation that I had with you, Ron, is very different than anyone else I've had on the show. And that's all I'll say.
Thank you. It was Chris got me out of myself to talk to and to share. And normally I don't really share my personal life, and I keep some cards to my chest. So but this was a real opportunity to support Chris, and number two is that it may help someone out there. So
absolutely,
so check it out if you.
And
I got butterflies. I have butterflies to see it. So
need to have butterflies. No need to have butterflies. It's funny. Like as I edit this, I told you this. Your episode was the longest episode for me to edit. It's not that it was longer than anyone else's. I just kept finding myself rewatching parts over and over and over again. So it was kind of hard to get through it because of the way that you spoke about your life. And there's one thing in particular that you said that I think is going to resonate with a lot of people, and I really want people to watch tonight. The promo was intentionally somewhat cryptic. It was yours. I made it intentionally very short. because I want people to watch tonight, and I think that tonight's gonna be a really good one. People are gonna get to really know Ron Foster, another side of him, and I think it's really important because you don't know who you're going to touch, and you don't know whose life you're going to change. So, people, if you've never watched Safe Space, watch tonight, 8 p.m. on YouTube on the Indie Soup Network. All right, I'm done.
Omar says Ron is going raw.
I'm not going to touch that one with a 10-foot pole.
I'm gonna leave that one alone. Thank you, Omar. Anyway, this is a photo Jamel Shabazz has submitted to us. Ely Reed. And Jamel says, let me get here. Hold on a second. He was kidnapped in Lebanon. He has a book called Black in America with a foreword by Gordon Parks. Wow. Again, I love that. This is I always love, there's something about film photography that just really just blows my mind, is that you really can't even though we have apps and we have digital programs, but there's something about connecting with a photographer who's photographed a subject in film. It's,
you know what I actually really love, and I've been finding myself doing this a lot lately, actually holding old photos in my hand. There's, I don't know, there's something about that, the textile touch of a photograph, especially feeling the top surface of it. I don't know if you guys remember, I forget the name of the actual paper, but there's a paper they used to use back in the day where it was very textured, it was bumpy. That old time film paper, but I just love the texture of old time photographs, and especially if it's in a black and white or like a sepia color. There's something so romantic about it.
Wow. These are beautiful photos. Nice, nicely done. I'm always curious about how people do this with their Instagram page. Like, they paste the photos in their grid.
There are
like
apps that allow you to break it up like that, and then you can post them in that sequence to get the grid. Yeah.
It's so cool how they do. I mean, when they do this. Okay, what time is it? Well, we looking good.
4 minutes. 4 minutes.
And Amparo says to Jamel, here we go. She says, I love Ely Reed. The first photo book I ever purchased was hers. Oh, really? Jamel says Ely was also the first Black photographer for Magnum. Wow. He would love to come on your show. Oh, really? Really? He would love to come. Are you, Jamel?
Look, that's a booking right there.
Oh, let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. I would love to. Yes. I would love. You say I'm busting out of my skin here. I can make the connection. Thank you, Jamel. Thank you for that's my little time number there. Okay, I got so excited. Amparo says wow, yes, I know you guys. And guys, if you guys have connections with people that you want to come on the show, feel free. This is our community, so share. We're in this together, and we all become more smart when we all participate together. Thank you, Jamel. He said, I got you. I will call him today. Woo! See, got me. Okay, it's 12. It's 10 minutes after the hour, and so there's a couple of things I need to do. Give you a couple of announcements. Tomorrow is our meetup, so we'll be doing our meetup tomorrow at in Soho. We're doing street photography tomorrow. I'm so excited because we missed it last month because of the
It got
rain.
rained out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we got rained out last month, but this month, hello, it's going
The
to
weather's
be a
supposed to be nice tomorrow.
beautiful. It's going to be beautiful tomorrow, and we're going to get a great stretch. So tomorrow we'll be meeting at 11 a.m. But if you can go to the link in my profile in the bio, and you can go straight to the Meetup app, or if you are already on Meetup app, you can just go to RLP Urban Photographers Meetup. There's about, looks like 15 people coming out tomorrow, so you'll meet some other photographers. We're going to be walking Soho. We're going to pop into some of the galleries, and we're going to have a great time tomorrow. It's going to be beautiful. So from 2 to 4, we'll be doing that tomorrow. Also, we had Nelson on this week, and he curated an event, that a gallery exhibition that's going on at Key Smith Gallery. Check that out. That is in just off the edge of Chinatown, Lower East Side. So check that out. Beautiful art. This is a art show. There's no photography, but lots of beautiful art. Check that out. And also this weekend, if you want to join me, let me know. I will be at the photography show 2024, which is going to be here in Manhattan. This is the address, the website, www.aipad.com/show. And that is a beautiful event where photographers from all over the country, all over the world, gather together with their work. And so that's going to be a lot of fun for Sunday. I will be there from 12 to 8. I think it ends at 8. So I'll be there the full day. I pack my lunch, I pack my bag, and I will be there.
Go.
I am ready to go. I'll be sleeping. I'm going to get some good sleep tonight because I got a busy weekend. And if you are in Brooklyn tomorrow on St. James Place between Gates and Green, is our big famous block party. Our block party is starting early this year. So there's going to be some music and dancing and people. So I'm going to cover that after I do my meetup. A couple of us are coming back to Brooklyn, and we're going to do some street photography over there, just hanging out with the folks dancing to house music. Yes. Nice. I got a busy weekend. So
I'll find out all the details on Monday.
You'll find out all the details and the dirty details.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. So thank you so much. Again, check us out on Indie Soup at 6:00. This is the repeat of this show. And again, give a shout out to all the war correspondent, war photographers out there. Make sure you leave a nice little message on their page. If you happen to like them today, send a message of love of saying thank you. Sometimes I just go on their page just to say thank you. And a thank you can go a long way with a photographer. We do this because of our passion to serve. And so, especially when people are putting their lives on the line, send them some love. And if you also subscribe to this page, if you're here for the first time, subscribe and then hit the like. And it's time for me to get off of here. Oh, guys, it's time to leave you. And I send some love. There we go. Love you all, and I'll see you on Monday. You'll see me during the weekend. I'll be popping in and out on Instagram. Okay, guys, we're out of here. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend.